How do we measure the distance around this part of the netball court?
I have an idea. Let's measure the length and the width of the shape and then fill it on the sketch.
Oh, that's a great idea. What are we going to use to measure the distance?
I think we can use a ruler or a tape measure.
But we didn't bring any of those.
I brought this along. I thought you might need it.
Thank you.
You can use a ruler, but it's much more better in this case to use a tape measure.
We are measuring a large shape and the tape measure is longer. It will take you a lot longer to measure the shape with a ruler.
Let's start by measuring the longest side of the field.
That's this side here. I'll hold the tape measure on this corner. You go read the measurement.
It's 20.34 meters. Now the other side.
It's 15.25 meters. I'll write that in. So, it's a rectangle. The sides are not the same, so it can't be a square.
Now, do you think you could find the distance around the outside of the rectangle?
Remember, we call the total distance around the outside of any shape the perimeter of the shape.
I think we can find the perimeter of this rectangle. We need to measure the other two sides first and add all of them together.
We don't have to measure all four sides. Remember, the opposite sides of a rectangle are equal. So, we can use the measurements we already found. So, this longer side is equal to the opposite side. The shorter side is also equal to the opposite side. Then I think we need to use the formula to work it out.
What formula?
The formula for the perimeter of the rectangle, length plus width plus length plus width, gives the perimeter of the rectangle, which equals 2 times the length plus the width. If we put in the length and the width that we measured, we will get the perimeter of the rectangle.
I don't believe that your formula will work. I think that if you measured each side, you'd get a different answer.
Why don't you try it both ways? First, do the calculations and then measure and see if you get the same answer.
Okay, then you can see if using the formula is the right way.
Or if measuring is the right way to do it.
Let me substitute into the formula. Now I'll work that out on the calculator. So it is 70.98 meters.
That's good work, guys. Now take the tape measure and find the distance around the field and compare the outcome.
First, this length. 20.24 meters plus the width 15.25 meters, then this length 20.24 meters plus 15.25 meters.
Now, let's add the figures together.
It looks like you're right, Hamisi. The distance around the field is the same as when we use the formula.
So, we have found the perimeter of the rectangle when you measure the distance around it, and when you use the formula are the same. Now, what about the other shapes on the court?
Let's see.
Look, I can see a circle at the center of the field.
Why don't we measure the circumference of the circle using this tape measure?
That's a good idea.
The circumference is 2.83 meters long.
Is the circumference of the circle the same as its perimeter?
Yes, it is, Wanjiro.
Mr. Mutua, is there a formula for finding the perimeter of a circle like there was for a rectangle?
Yes, there is, Hamisi.
You can find the perimeter or circumference of a circle by multiplying the diameter by pi.
Let's try and see if we'll get the same answer.
Why not? We can measure the diameter of the circle using the tape measure. It is 0.9 meters.
Now let's work it out. That's 22 divided by 7 times 0.9.
I'll work it out. The answer we got by measurement is approximately the same as when we used the formula. It's very interesting.
Well done. It seems it's easier to use formulas to find the perimeter of shapes than to use a tape measure. What other shapes do you see on this court?
2 semicircles.
Well spotted, Wanjiro. Well, it's getting a bit late, so we will leave the semicircles for your task today.
During your free time, visit the netball court and identify where the semicircular shapes on the court are. I would like you to first work out their perimeter. Then say whether you think the perimeter of a semicircle is equal to half the perimeter of a circle with the same diameter or not.